everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna give you 7 myths about aging. I'm Rita and today it's all about you. Any person is different from the other and has a unique way of thinking. When you talk to different people, you'll get different ways of thinking and different ways of seeing things. And this doesn't matter what age these people are, because age doesn't define you and doesn't define your thoughts. So the thinking process is different from each person and is characteristic of each person. It's not characteristic of certain ages. Genetic, health and well-being play a very significant role in how we get old. It's not true that all of us, when we are getting older, have problems with our memory. In the worldwide, only 8% of all the people with more than 65 years old can eventually experience memory loss, dementia or even Alzheimer's. So memory problems are not really a characteristic of getting old. It's not true that age brings a memory trouble. Elderly people have go through different challenges and have faced different situations during their own lives. Sometimes they can be a little bit more slower when they need to adapt to certain situations. But this struggle or this difficult in adaptation is not an age characteristic, it's a preference. So usually old people has a little bit more of this difficulty because they value too much stability, and this stability is much more important than the way that they want to change, or a way that tell them that they need to change. So old people only have these issues because they just want to be stable and to feel secure. That's the only reason why they sometimes fight when a change is coming. Retirement doesn't need to mean quietness. Sometimes elderly just needs a little bit more time to rest during the day, but most of the times and all of the times it's usually caused by health issues. So it doesn't mean that when a person is more than 65 years old, he has to be quiet. In this way, they can have a volunteer kind of job. They take care, and this is a very high percentage of their grandchildren or their other members of the family. They take care of their own business, or they eventually go to do stuff or learn stuff that they always wanted to learn and they never had the chance. Usually now they have this chance, and usually they choose this time of life to learn to do new things. As long as they feel healthy, it's normal, it's important, it's healthy that an elderly person prefers to be active. Depression is a real disease that can happen in any time. It doesn't just happen in elderly, it can happen since childhood, and it's something that it's treatable, but it's something that really doesn't choose any kind of age. What sometimes happen is that this depression happens during adulthood, but because of several circumstances, it's not really taken care, and then a person reach elderly and this depression, it's much more with higher symptoms and with much more strong feelings, and this can eventually means that we can see sometimes lots of depressed old people, but there are other motives, there are other reasons that it's not really age related. So it's important that if you reach this time of life and if you feel depressed, even if this is something that it came for a long time or it's something that just starts now and you will have some symptoms, please reach for a professional in order for you to get help in this way and in order for you to improve significantly your life, your future, your well-being and your health. It's a myth that loneliness is so close to elderly. It's not true that in this time of life you have to be lonely and you have to feel loneliness. Most of the people with more than 65 years old, they are reaching their friends, they are being active and being social active, they are meeting their friends, they are meeting family, they are doing stuff that when they were adults they didn't have really time because they have their jobs, their family, so, and they have all of the routines that they don't have now, and now they have time to do new things, to meet new people, and to be with their old friends, to be with the family that they want to be. But at the same time it's important that there are a learning process about being with themselves, which doesn't mean that the person is lonely, so it's just learn to be alone, learn to be okay being alone, and at the same time being comfortable with themselves without the need of a presence of another person to fulfill that emptiness. It's important that a person understands and learns that they are enough for themselves, and then that they can be alone without feeling loneliness. It's a total misconception that an old person it's not really interested in maintain or regain or having any kind of relationship. Not just in a social way, but also in an emotional way. Elderly people not just have interested in sexual relationships, but they really understand the importance of that kind of relationships for a romantic stability and a romantic relationship. Some studies has really shown that this sexual relationship really work for older people and really give a sense of well-being and have these all positive effects in the health of elderly people. In the last 15 years, the advance of technology, of science and medicine allows us to live much more longer. This means that the world population with more than 85 years old is really growing. And so we are facing much more questions about the aging process. Most people have at least 20 years after the retirement. So this means that this stage in life is not a death sentence. And being old doesn't really mean being weak, dependent or fragile. Being weak or dependent. Maybe we all just need more understanding and positiveness about this aging process in order to make an end of this kind of myths and in order to make us understand that this process is a long process and it's something that we can really enjoy and not just think that we are near the end. So we all have lots of time to live and to do stuff that we really want to do after our retirement, and we have to learn how to deal with this long age process and how to manage all our emotions and our feelings in order to live a really peaceful and happy life. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe the channel. I hope you leave a thumbs up. I hope you share with a friend, comment if you want, and I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!